What if I told you that your sleeping problem doesn't start when you get into bed but long before that? What if the reason you went to bed tired, with your body asking for rest but your mind just wouldn't turn off, wasn't your anxiety, the stress of the day, or your cell phone, but what you put on your plate a few hours before? This question is uncomfortable, I know, because almost everyone associates poor sleep with racing thoughts, a busy routine, or too much screen time. And all of this influences, yes, but there is an invisible, silent error repeated every night that few people notice: the food consumed at night. The human body does not understand intention. He doesn't know that you ate something thinking it was light, nor that your idea was to relax and sleep better. The body understands biological signals. Every food you consume sends a clear message to your brain. And at night, the brain expects a very specific message: metabolic silence. He expects slowdown, pause, security. But many of the most common modern dining foods do exactly the opposite. They stimulate, activate, accelerate. And when this happens, the body conflicts with sleep. You can even close your eyes, turn off the light, lie down in the dark. But internally, the organism continues to function. Digestion works too much. The nervous system receives the wrong stimuli. The brain understands that it is not yet time to completely shut down. The result appears in several ways: difficulty falling asleep, light sleep, waking up in the middle of the night, waking up at 3 or 4 in the morning with your mind on, or that classic feeling of, I slept, but I didn't rest. And almost no one connects this to what they ate at night. The most dangerous thing is that we are talking about extremely common foods: sugar and sweets after dinner, that small chocolate that seems harmless, refined carbohydrates like white bread, pizza, or simple pasta that provide immediate comfort, caffeine disguised in coffee, black tea, green tea, soft drinks, or even chocolate, the alcohol in wine or beer to relax, and fatty or ultra-processed foods that weigh on digestion. They all seem normal. They are part of the routine of millions of people. But at night, they act as a clear signal to the brain: stay alert, it's not time to rest yet. And here's the most important point: it's not about overdoing it, it's not about overeating. Often the quantity is small. The problem is timing. At night, the body reacts differently. A food that works well during the day can be a silent sleep saboteur when consumed at night. And the more this pattern repeats, the more the brain learns that nighttime is not a safe time to completely shut down. Maybe you are recognizing yourself now. Maybe you've noticed that you always consume something thinking it's light, but your sleep never deepens. If this makes sense, comment something simple below like, I never thought of that, or that happens to me, because this helps the video reach more people who also suffer from bad sleep without knowing the reason. And stay with me, because the worst thing of all is this: most people consume these foods thinking they are doing something light, and that is exactly where the problem that we are going to unravel now begins. And that's exactly why I want to hear from you now, before continuing, because this video isn't just about information, it's about identification. If at any point you thought, this is me, this happens to me almost every night, or now everything makes sense, write this in the comments. It could be something really simple like, I identified myself, I sleep lightly, or I wake up tired. When you comment, you're not just talking to me, you're helping other people realize that they're not alone in this silent problem of poor sleep. And if this content is already opening your mind to something that no one has ever explained to you, leave a like now. The like is important because it shows the algorithm that this topic needs to be delivered to more people who are suffering from insomnia, fragmented sleep, night waking, and constant tiredness. There are many people thinking that the problem is anxiety, stress, or a lack of willpower, when in fact they are repeating a simple mistake every night without realizing it. If you're not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now. Here we talk about sleep, body, mind, and these modern habits that seem normal, but are sabotaging your health from within. Subscribing guarantees that you won't miss the next videos, because understanding what's disturbing your sleep is just the beginning. From here, we start to show you how to adjust this in a practical, realistic, and possible way within your routine. So comment, like, subscribe, and stay with me, because now we're going to go into the details that almost no one notices, food by food, showing exactly what happens in your body while you try to sleep, and why seemingly small choices are robbing you of the quality of your sleep night after night. And now is the point at which many people begin to truly recognize themselves, because when we talk about the worst foods at night, we are not talking about obvious exaggerations or wrong choices on purpose. We are talking about common automatic habits, repeated every day, usually when the person just wants to relax after a tiring day. The first of these seems too small to cause a problem. Sugar and sweets at night are almost an emotional gesture. A simple dessert, a piece of chocolate, that sweet treat after dinner that seems harmless. The problem is that biologically, sugar is not neutral. It generates an internal spike that the body interprets as a stimulus. As you lie in bed waiting to switch off, your brain receives a message of activity. Glucose rises, the nervous system becomes agitated, and the body understands that there is still something going on. The most common symptom is that shallow, superficial sleep, in which any noise wakes you up, or waking up in the middle of the night with your mind strangely switched on, even without clear concern. Soon after comes one of the most normalized foods of the modern night: refined carbohydrates. White bread, pizza, plain pasta, cookies. They provide immediate comfort, a feeling of satiety and even false tranquility at first. But a few hours later, the body pays the bill. The sleep rhythm becomes disorganized. The body enters unstable cycles. Deep sleep becomes shorter and awakening happens earlier than expected. Many people wake up tired without understanding why, even though they have slept for several hours. This happens because the body has not been able to enter the more restorative phases of sleep. He was too busy processing stimuli that shouldn't have been there at that time. And then comes one of the quietest saboteurs of all: disguised caffeine. It's not just the obvious coffee. It is present in black tea, green tea, soft drinks, and even chocolate. At night, even small amounts are enough to keep the brain alert. The body can sleep, but the nervous system does not completely relax. It's that feeling of going to bed tired, but taking a while to switch off, or sleeping and waking up with repetitive thoughts, as if the mind had never really switched off. The person feels heavy in the body, but the brain remains active, as if it were still daytime. Another food that deceives many people is alcohol, wine, beer, drinks, to relax. At first, it gives a false feeling of relaxation. It even helps you fall asleep faster, but the effect is not sustained. Alcohol directly interferes with the deep phases of sleep, those responsible for physical and mental recovery. The result appears in the middle of the night: frequent awakenings, broken sleep, waking up early, and difficulty going back to sleep. Many people don't associate this with alcohol because they believe it helps them relax, when in fact it fragments sleep from within. And finally, a classic dinner mistake: fatty or ultra-processed foods. Fast food, fried foods, sausages, very heavy foods at night. These foods require enormous digestive effort. While you try to rest, the body goes into full activity mode. Digestion works, body temperature rises, the internal system is on alert. The symptom appears quickly: difficulty falling asleep, abdominal discomfort, a feeling of heaviness and restless sleep. The body just doesn't feel safe to shut down completely. Do you notice the pattern? None of these foods are absolute villains during the day. The problem is the time. At night, the body needs metabolic silence, predictability, and security. When he receives too much stimulation, he goes into vigilance. And that's why the problem isn't a lack of sleep. It's not weakness. It's not a head that's too busy. It's the body receiving the wrong signals at the wrong time, over and over again. And before moving on to the next part, I want you to participate. If any of these foods are part of your nighttime routine, comment below with phrases like, "I eat this at night," "I never imagined it would interfere," or "Now I understand my sleep." This helps other people recognize themselves too. If this content is opening your eyes, leave a like because it shows that this subject needs to be talked about. And subscribe to the channel, because now that you understand what gets in the way, the next step is to show you what to put in place so your body can finally allow you to sleep. And now comes the part that usually brings relief, because after understanding what interferes with sleep, many people enter a state of alert thinking that they will need to stop eating at night, go on a strict diet, or go to bed hungry. And it's nothing like that. Sleeping well does not depend on extreme restriction. It depends on correct signaling to the body. The body does not need an absence of food to enable deep sleep. It needs less stimulation, easy digestion, and a clear message that it's safe to switch off. When this happens, sleep stops being a mental struggle and becomes a natural response from the body. At night, the body works as an intelligent protection system. It assesses the internal environment before allowing you to enter the deeper stages of sleep. If there is a lot of digestive activity, if the metabolism is accelerated, if the nervous system receives warning signals, The body simply does not give in completely to rest. Therefore, the principle here is not to eat less. It is to eat more intelligently at night. Foods that require little digestive effort, that do not overstimulate the brain, and that help the nervous system to let its guard down create exactly the scenario that sleep needs. When you make small changes at dinner or as a late-night snack, something very interesting happens. Breathing begins to naturally slow down. The body loses that silent tension that many people feel without realizing it. The mind doesn't go into that loop of repetitive thoughts when you lie down, and sleep begins to come effortlessly. It's not that forced sleep, it's a sleep that comes alone, as it should be. And most importantly, it holds up. Nighttime awakenings begin to decrease. Sleep becomes deeper, and the body wakes up with a real feeling of rest. These exchanges work because they reduce unnecessary stimuli at night. Less stimulus means less activation of the sympathetic nervous system, the one responsible for alertness. Easy digestion means your body doesn't have to be working while you're trying to sleep. And when these two things align, the brain receives a clear signal of safety. He understands that there is nothing to resolve, nothing to process, nothing to watch over. Only then does it allow you to enter the more restorative phases of sleep. Many people report that by adjusting this, their sleep schedule naturally changes. The person begins to feel sleepy earlier, without anxiety. Yawning appears, eyes get heavy. The urge to lie down comes without effort. And even when you wake up in the middle of the night, something changes. Your mind doesn't race. The body does not go into alert. Returning to sleep happens much more easily. This happens because the brain starts to trust the night again. He understands that that period does not bring unexpected stimuli. Another important point is that the body learns through repetition. One night alone helps, but when you keep these choices for a few nights in a row, the effect accumulates. The body begins to anticipate rest. He understands that the same safety standard is followed every night. And this pattern is what makes sleep come alone. It's not a miracle technique, it's not a supplement, it's not willpower. It's physiology responding to correct signals. And here's something that almost no one explains. Many people try to solve their sleep problems by focusing only on what they do in bed. Breathing techniques, meditation, absolute silence, dark room. All of this helps. But if the body is already overstimulated at night, these strategies are limited. When you adjust what you eat, the job becomes much easier. The body arrives ready to shut down. The bed stops being a battlefield and becomes a place of rest again. Before moving on to the next detail, I want you to participate, because this really helps this content reach more people. If you feel like your body doesn't turn off at night, comment below, "My body stays on alert." If you wake up in the middle of the night, say, "I wake up at dawn." If you sleep but wake up tired, write, "I sleep and I don't rest." These phrases help other people recognize themselves too. If this video is helping you understand your sleep in a different way, leave a like, because it shows that this subject needs to be talked about, and subscribe to the channel, because understanding what to eat at night is just part of the process. And there is a simple detail that if you apply it for 3 nights in a row, completely changes the way your body goes to sleep. If you identified with this video, if at any point you thought, "This is me, this happens to me every night," or "Now it all makes sense," subscribe to the channel now. This type of content is made exactly for those who sleep poorly, wake up tired, and never really understand what is sabotaging their sleep from the inside. Signing up is the simplest way to ensure you continue learning how to help your body shut down naturally without suffering. If you made it to the end, comment one of these sentences below so I know you stayed with me this far. "My sleep has changed," or "I'm going to watch what I eat at night." These comments are important because they help this video reach more people who also need better sleep. And don't forget the like. If you made it to the end, leave a like now. It shows that the content made sense to you and really helps the channel grow, taking this message to those who still think that sleeping poorly is normal. Now click on the next video that appears on the screen, because it connects directly with everything we talked about today and will help you take the next step to improve your sleep. Thank you for staying here. Take care of your rest, and we'll see you in the next video.